Got a Schlage Primus here for you. Gonna do a pick and gut. On my Primus anyway, the sidebar binds first if I go clockwise, and if I go counterclockwise, the top pins bind first. I find that picking the top pins first is a little bit easier. Allows me to put more pressure on the sidebar, which seems to be easier getting that guy open. So I'm going to do that. We're going to go for top pins. I'm going to use a slender Peterson gem. It's a little bit easier to use this just because the keyway on the Primus is so tight compared to the Primus Everest or maybe some different Primus are different keyways, but this one has a very tight and restricted keyway. Alright, there I got dropped into a bit of false set, so that usually means the top pins are picked. I'm going to use this modified dimple pin pick to get the sidebar pins there. My technique here is mostly to focus on wiggling them into the right place, but if they don't get quite right, I usually try to lift them just a little bit, but I find that they need more rotation than they need lifting most of the time. Also, heavy tension here really helps. Helps to bind up that sidebar and get those pins to stay in the right place. Otherwise, you have a tendency to get them out of place. And there we go. So we'll go ahead and gut this guy. Oh, almost lost it there. Alright, so go ahead and get my wedge tension wrench out of there if I can. Get a screwdriver. And I do not have a key for this, so getting it apart and back together is a bit of a challenge, but see what I can do here. We're going to go ahead and push this out with this follower, I believe. So it should work for us. Seeing if we can keep all the sidebar pins. I'm also going to use one of these shims just to keep the upper pins in place. They tend to like to walk out on me. And we'll see if I can keep all the pins and the sidebar. Nope. Shoot. There's like 360 on this thing. Lost one of the sidebar pins there. And I lost some of the top pins. Cutting locks is not as easy as it looks. Alright. So here's, go ahead and take out the other sidebar pins here. I'll just put them over here. So far I haven't yet lost any of these parts, but it'd be a bad time to do that. Take my sidebar, put it out here. Sidebar has a couple springs as well. And knock out all the key pin or lower pin springs if I can. Three, so let's have a few more in there. And there's at least one more. There it goes. And the rest of these key pins and everything are not really that special. Just standard key pins. And the upper pins, same thing. Go ahead and dump those all out. Repinning up locks is also not that easy. Nothing really special to the Bible here. Give you a shot of key pins, everything are at the top. Take a look at the sidebar and sidebar pins, see if I can get a close-up of those. There they are. And I'll give you a shot of the core here, if I can get it in focus, with the keyway. It's pretty restrictive there in the middle, you can see. But other than having a sidebar and being a nightmare to get back into the actual lock, nothing too special there. And as far as I'm aware, these sidebar pins and the sidebar itself is pretty typical of the Primus. These parts all over the place apparently. Well, there it is.